Hey, welcome back. Welcome to 2019. This is the Squares of the Roundtable podcast. I am Jeff Stein, and with me is the one, the only...
Me, Mike Boyle. Hi, Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you all had a nice holiday season.
Indeed, and Ivan Rivera is not with us today, sadly. Family issue, nothing major from what I understand, but Ivan will hopefully be with us on our next show. Welcome to 2019. Welcome to the next year of Squares of the Roundtable.
It's the future.
It's the future. It's the future, indeed. So far, as much as I'd like to think 2019 is going to be a great year, the future kind of sucks so far.
Already so far, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe it's because I'm a Bears fan, and I don't know.
And a wrestling fan.
Yeah, and a Super Dave fan, and, it's been...
and grew up listening to 70s music.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah, it's been...
it's...
been off to a rocky start, for sure.
Well, it was funny, because the weather's been okay, and then today it was like somebody said, it's like, what kind of day could you possibly have after the doink doink game of Cody Parkey? And everybody's like, hey, look, apparently all the tears of Chicago have decided to drop down on this dreary, horrible Monday. So, yeah, I don't know. It's, in fairness, at least we haven't seen the snow. So I can't, I don't know.
We had that one snow right after Thanksgiving, and that was it. We had a little bit of sprinkles after, around New Year's. Had, a dusting on the ground, and that was it.
Yeah.
Then we had a full day of rain, and then rain tomorrow. It's going to cold later in the week, but anyway, for meteorological report, blah, blah.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Let's talk about the weather.
Yeah. Shall we talk about the weather?
Yeah.
Shall we talk about the government?
Yeah, or again, if we talk about the weather, then we got to talk later about Matlock or something like that, right?
Yeah. Well, at least it ain't snow.
Yeah, at least it ain't snow. Right. And now we're going to watch Murder, She Wrote.
So, we've all been gone for a few weeks, and we're happy that you're back. Jeff, how was your holiday? What did you do while we were not broadcasting?
What did I do? I watched a lot of movies, as you saw. On the Squares of the Roundtable Facebook page, I've done a few non-spoiler reviews, so it'll be nice to actually talk about some of these movies and feel comfortable taking a little more in depth with them. In terms of that, I did go out with family. Over the holiday, over the New Year's holiday, I did go out gaming. I went to a private convention that some family and friends put together, and I was there for about a good 4 or 5 days, and that was really a lot of fun. Did a lot of Star Wars role playing, and when I didn't, it was watch some football, relax, have a good time. So really it was a pretty good couple of weeks, and just kind of trying to get ready to figure out where I'm going and what I'm doing in 2019. So that's kind of my thing. How about you?
I had a nice, relaxing holiday. We had a good Christmas with the fam. Or do you say fam, or can we say family? I mean, is it? Yeah, we can still say family.
All my brothers.
We got you, fam. I don't know what that's about. Had a great Christmas, and then New Year's Day went into the city. Had to take my sister's Christmas presents to her apartment and use my truck, get a shelving unit out of her apartment or something, and we stopped at Shaw's Crab House on the way back. And I had, first time I ever had a full lobster on my plate.
Ah.
And I said, I'll take the steamed lobster, because we're dining on somebody else's gift card that my sister got from her work. So it's yay, we live in large today. So I'm okay. I got the steamed lobster. Now, when I think of lobster, I think I just get tails. But this was the whole creature on my plate. And I had never tackled dissecting. Usually I get the tail, taken out of the shell or whatever, but the exoskeleton. And I was going to say, I think I did pretty good. I named him Norman the New Year's lobster. He had a very shiny red exoskeleton, and he was quite delicious. So I had a great time. I had 4 days off in between my normal job, in between around New Year's. So it was good. I wanted to see more movies, but I didn't. I just slept. It was nice. My body said, nope, you need to recharge. I'm like, okay, so I'll sleep for 10 hours. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. And that was fine. I had a great holiday. And except saw some movies, hung out with some friends, watched Infinity War New Year's Eve. No, I didn't time it, so like Thanos would snap his fingers at midnight. But then watched the TV coverage of the New Year's was just awful everywhere.
Was it?
Yeah, just all the TV coverage. Then I don't even want to get into it, but some of the New Year's coverage was just stupid. And in the Central Time Zone here, the Eastern Time Zone has New York City, the ball drop. Excuse me. The Central Time Zone has the pierogi drop in Whiting, Indiana.
Oh, God.
And that's even worse than Chi-Town Rising.
Oh.
It just makes it all these big city, like all these Chicago sportscasters and newscasters all trying to seem all folksy because they sent somebody to Whiting, Indiana for the pierogi drop. And I was like, this is just redonkulous. I didn't stay up past 1 New Year's. And I didn't drink a lot. I had a little bit of the sauce on Christmas Day. I had a few beers. It's Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day I was taking it slow, and I think I can make a conscious effort to just not really drink that much at all in 2019. I think I'm just going. Not saying I'm going totally dry, but
wow,
my Irish sensibilities be all like, I'm getting a little older. And no one's getting any younger in this podcast or anywhere elsewhere. But I tell you, maybe I just can't hold my liquor no more. Because Christmas Eve, I had a few beers, and the next morning, I was kind of quiet Christmas Day. And I had a great holiday, not saying anything about that. But after New Year's, my family bought me a multivitamin. Because I'm turning 48 this year. And that's old. For you millennials be all like, oh, that is like so old. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so this multivitamin is, let's just say it's changing the color of my urine. And it's a little disturbing.
It's changing. What color is it? What color is your urine?
It's, your normal yellow. This is now, after the last 4 days, I'm taking this multivitamin supplement.
Okay.
It's turned it like a fluorescent, like highlighting pen color.
Okay.
Like radioactive.
Okay.
It's not, as far as I know, it's not glowing in the dark because I don't pee in the dark.
Okay.
But other than that, the year's going off to a decent start. I'm still here. So.
Reminds me of a friend of mine who used to go into bars, and he would go into bars after people got drunk on St. Patrick's Day, and he bet all these people that he couldn't pee green, and he had spent, I can't remember if it was the day before or a couple hours before, drinking a whole bunch of green food coloring that apparently will indeed turn your pee green. And so he was like winning all over the place, and it's like some of these people were like, some of these people are like, you scammed me. It's like, that's somebody I wanted to go out with on a regular basis.
I just think about that one scene, and remember that old cartoon, The Critic, where he comes across a Barney the dinosaur kind of what do you call it? Analogy or whatever. So a cartoon, a children's show character similar to Barney. And he says, you're an insipid walking commercial, and your cereal turned my urine pink. So yeah, multicolored urine. That's what we got to look forward to in 2019.
Yeah, I guess so.
And you said we saw some movies. I only saw one. I wanted to see more movies, but I didn't get off the damn couch or in bed. I just enjoyed the holidays. So
no, I understand.
It was nice, though.
The other thing, as long as you're talking about food, Christmas Day, we went out to Fogo de Chao, which is the Brazilian steakhouse, because I had a family member who had a gift certificate for that. And that's like the never-ending meat. If you've never seen this before, have you seen this like Brazilian steakhouse thing?
I've never heard of this place.
Oh my god! So basically, you go in and they give you this like this little disc, and essentially you flip it over. It's one side's red and one side's green, and green means that you want the stuff. And they are essentially walking around the whole restaurant with different types of cuts of meat that they will bring to you and slice to put on your plate. Until you feel like you're sitting there going either no more, or I need a wheelbarrow, or you're dead from a coronary. They also do have a salad bar, which has, some really cool cheeses and some salamis and that kind of stuff, and some smoked salmon, and as well as some actual salad as well. But the real trick is they have like all kinds of these meats, and you just like sit there and it's like, okay, now I am going to burst a coronary.
Where's this place at?
There is actually one in Rosemont.
Okay.
The one we went to is downtown in the city though.
Right.
Off of Orleans, I believe.
Okay.
So there's at least two of them, and there are other versions of Brazilian steakhouse that are here in town. That's just the one that we've often gone to because I feel like it's one of the better ones.
It sounds like you might have talked about this before.
Oh God, it's really worth it. It's like,
so you give you like a ping pong paddle that you hold up.
No, it's
like
more
a stop and go kind of thing.
It's almost more like having a cardboard coaster that you have on the table, and you flip it over one way or the other.
Okay.
And like they're literally walking around with big, huge things of meat. Like, I mean, you gotta have some serious strength to walk around with these things. I mean, if you wanted a good workout, that's how you get a good workout, is you carry these things around. It's crazy. Yeah, that was good stuff. It was funny. They had the options for buying a shrimp cocktail, but that was additional cost. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't need to buy anything additional. You're giving me meat, and technically that includes chicken, so I'm good. Yeah, no. Like I said, the only other thing I think I can think of is, and I think you saw the posting. Apparently, a friend of mine for New Year's Eve had gotten some sort of. I have to check in to see where he got these. Apparently, they were making some sort of Star Wars, like sparkling drink, and it was really pretty good. I had a couple of them. They were really pretty good. They were nice. It wasn't alcoholic, but yeah, that was fun.
Okay, Star Wars drink. All right, cool.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact name of it. So,
what would you name a Star Wars drink?
I can't. Oh, there was a name for it, but I gotta go look it up.
Fuzzy-looking Nerf herder? Scruffy-looking Nerf herder.
Now you're gonna make me go.
Now you're gonna have to look it up. See, that's what I do. I make you look things up.
Yeah, now I gotta scroll all the way through.
And then the first of the year, we lost Super Dave Osborne, Mean Gene Okerlund, and the captain from Captain Tina, all the same day, all within 24 hours.
And they're all 76.
Yeah. Yeah, all 76 years old. That was weird.
That's very strange.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was funny. Before we went on the air, I was playing for you the opening for the intro for the Super Dave cartoon from Fox, from the Fox Kids Network from back in the day. And
I remember Fox Kids in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked that show, but I know why that doesn't get played, which is there's a character on there, and I think he was part of the whole Super Dave spiel at times, which is they had a guy named Fuji.
Yeah.
And boy, they have a couple episodes on YouTube, and the guy's really like, oh, super, and I'm like, oh God, no wonder why they don't air this anymore.
Yeah, it was not politically correct.
you can't air this anymore.
No.
But that show was funny for all the wrong reasons, which was basically, it was constantly like, okay, what can we slam Super Dave into, or what can we drop on him? And every time we turn around, he's like, kids, this is really, really painful. You know, don't try this, and like he'd talk about stuff like that. And it was just a very, very funny cartoon. It was vastly underrated for its time. And that's my first reaction when I saw Super D. Me, Gene, immediately I went to go look for all kinds of, back in the day. I looked more for the Randy Savage stuff than I did the Hulk Hogan stuff.
Yeah, the great monologues. Yeah, that was one I found, maybe you linked to it, but there was one where he was in Piper's Pit.
Oh, I didn't get that one.
Yeah, where he was talking to Rowdy Piper, and they're both gone. And Randy's gone, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think he had his own, he had his own figure, obviously, because he has to be in the ring sometimes.
Yeah, he had his own figure.
Yeah.
The only thing was about Mean Gene was there was that period of time when he was working for WCW, and he was, every time I turn around, he's like, you know, if you call the 1-900 hotline, for a while he was the 900 hotline guy. Back in the day when like that was the thing when you wanted to get, like before there was an internet, you know, if you wanted to get hot scoops and stuff.
Right, all the latest news.
All the latest wrestling news, and you know, back when things like the Wrestling Observer and a lot of these things where you had to kind of be aware that they existed. Yeah, kids would call the hotline. People would call the hotline, and it was like a 900 number thing. So, yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that was funny because I did see a couple people talk about the 900 number stuff.
And growing up, we had Captain and Tennille A-Tracks in the house growing up.
Yeah, well, love will keep us together.
That's right. Muskrat Love.
There is, I did put up on my feed, not the podcast feed, but my feed, the training video with him and Mean Gene for when Hogan and him teamed up in a tag team match.
What was the name of their tag team?
No, I don't think there was a name for their tag.
Yeah, I think it was just the two of them. I don't know what.
Yeah, it was the two of them.
Gave it a name.
I guess Hogan basically kind of beat them both, beat whoever it was, both people together, and I guess Gene comes in for the pin, which is kind of amusing. But
yeah, one of the most prolific, if not maybe just some of the wrestlers. He's much more famous than most of the wrestlers in the golden age.
What was great about Mean Gene, and as somebody, you know, Mean Gene was somebody that as a kid I was like, oh, you know, all right, this was a guy that I looked at to emulate in terms of, you know, when I went to go, you know, when I was looking at becoming a broadcaster or sport, because Mean Gene was always, you know, would always be like, all right, so, and he'd never, you know, he definitely had an influence on people just beyond, you know, pro wrestling. There's people who definitely saw him as a role model for that too. So.
Yeah, always straight-laced, he was a great straight man to all whatever nonsense the wrestler was talking about. Especially the ones that was the disparity between when Macho Man's talking about the cream of the crop. Oh yeah, he's got the little creamer, you know, and Mean Gene just total serious face. This is the most important thing I'm doing in my life right now, and I mean that in his most sincere.
He never would sit there and let somebody just say something without contradicting them. By the way, the answer to your question is I was drinking apparently something called Space Punch.
Space Punch. Okay.
Yeah. It was good. I liked Space Punch.
All right. Awesome.
It wasn't bad at all. It actually was pretty good. Especially if you chilled it. So, yeah, I like I said. But yeah, I was kind of surprised about it. And then, so I want to get to kind of something, it was funny. You had seen before we went off the air, you had seen Spiderverse.
Yes.
Dude, that's got to be the best Spider-Man movie I've ever seen.
The best?
Yeah.
The best?
Bar none.
Really?
Really. That might be my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time.
I think the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man holds up really well as far as just a Spider-Man origin film.
I think I like the fact that it wasn't an origin film.
We knew with what we learned from the MCU with Homecoming and his appearance in Civil War. You can have Spider-Man in a movie and not have to go through the whole thing where he gets bit and Uncle Ben dies and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We get it. But we know. It's like we can have a Batman movie now. We don't have to have every first 20 minutes is how Bruce's parents die.
Yeah. In theory.
Yeah.
In theory, I don't know. I'm still not positive of that.
I'd say it's in the top 3 as far as favorite Spider-Man films go, but not my favorite. It was really good. I liked it.
I really found it a lot of fun. I loved the fact that they were able to figure out a way to do all those different characters and have them all in a movie and make them work. And to really make a good story of it. And I loved the visuals of it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny and I thought it was entertaining. And I thought it was, honestly, to me, it was more like the comics than anything I've seen. And I think that was the key to me. Is, they really gave it that feel and they gave it they gave it more to it. And like I said in the other review, the non-spoiler review, it should have been obvious to me. I didn't realize that Brian Michael Bendis, who created Miles Morales, was an executive producer on this. Because if I had, I would have realized this project was going to be better than I thought it was going to be.
It's funny, too, because just to interrupt you real quick, but during the months leading up to this, everyone was all like, I'll see.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing like, whoa, we were blown away. Our expectations were exceeded.
Yes. I really was like, wow, that was, I don't know, maybe it's just, I didn't go in with a lot of expectations. And that was after people were like, Jeff, you got to see this movie. I mean, they were really like, you got to see it. And I'm like, oh. And they're like, no, you really got to see it. And I'm like, and then it had a big opening weekend. And I was like, I guess. And I went into it, and I went to go see it, and it was really good. And I liked it a lot. I liked what they did with it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was great that they had a villain who was over the top, and yet at the same time, he didn't seem nearly as hokey as some of the other villains. As a whole, I just thought it was a really, really, really fun movie. I'm not surprised that it won the Golden Globe the other night too. For best animated.
Oh, it did? For best animated film?
Yeah, it won best animated film for the Golden Globes.
Oh, not Incredibles 2. Wow.
No. I'm telling you that movie. Well, I'll tell you right now, that movie blows away Incredibles 2.
And Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, without question.
Yeah.
That is the best animated of the year. That might be right up there in terms of animateds, in terms of superheroes. I would say it rivals Master the Phantasm.
Really? Okay.
I really, and that's the Batman movie that they brought to the big screen in the 90s. That at the time was unheard of, and really, I think, really in reality, it's going to be interesting because I don't know how many movies Marvel has left on their deal with Sony, but this is now the second Sony-produced Spider-Man movie that has exceeded their expectations. Okay? You had Venom, and now you have this Into the Spider-Verse, which is just blown up for them. I'm curious. I'm curious to see if they're not gonna sit there and go, hey, you know what? We don't need Spider-Man in the MCU. We can do just fine on our own.
But they know with the partnership, and they know the popularity of Tom Holland's Peter Parker,
sure,
that they can continue it.
Sure, but in fairness, here's the interesting question. This has always been the question too, Mike. Is what's to stop them from having Tom Holland in a Sony-related Spider-Man project? Like an official Sony Spider-Man project. The only thing right now is they just don't want to confuse people. But I don't know. I still think that they should kind of work a deal. They should work some sort of deal to keep themselves connected to the regular Spider-Man universe, to the regular Marvel universe. I think it's wise of them to do it, especially now with this situation where Marvel's going to have all the Fox guys too. It's a good opportunity for them. Plus the fact maybe they can work out other deals where they can borrow Marvel villains for some of these movies instead of using Spider-Man villains. Maybe they can go another way with it. Who knows? I thought Spiderverse. I thought it was great. I thought. I loved Spider-Ham. I loved it. I thought that was really a lot of fun. I would be interested in seeing some of those other characters again.
Yeah, it made me, as an old curmudgeon, and we're like, why is Gwen Stacy has the spider powers? And I was, stomping my fist on the desk as I'm chomping my cigar like J. Jonah Jameson. It made me give a crap about Spider-Gwen. And I like the relationship between Miles and Gwen.
Well, and I know I'll be honest, I haven't read in a while, but I know there is an actual Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
And that's in the comics. I don't understand how that works. I'm going to be the first to admit that. But I know she's been a popular character within Spider-Man comics for a while. And so, to me, I thought it was fun. I loved Failure Spider-Man. I thought he was great. I really did. I thought he really made that movie. The Spider-Man Christmas album is awesome. I want one.
Yeah. I enjoyed the throwbacks to the old 60s cartoon, which I grew up with. So.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, as somebody who's a fan of more current music, I loved that they were using current music to go with this. And it really made it work more. I mean, they really blended this movie well together. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. And that's not to take anything away from the others, but I really enjoyed this movie. I do think it's the best Spider-Man movie ever, or at least, in my opinion, it's the most fun Spider-Man movie I've seen. It really is. It's right up there with the second Spider-Man movie that Tobey Maguire did.
Yeah, Doc Ock.
And Homecoming. Homecoming, I really, really love. I think it's a lot of fun as a movie.
Yeah, Homecoming was great.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I think if it's not number one, it's in the top three.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I like I said, I figured I'd get back to that because, I was jacked. I thought, I'm like, wow, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of movie I want to see. That's a superhero movie, and to the point of where it was funny because when I saw the other movies that I saw this winter so far during the break, I was like, was that better than Spiderverse? And honestly, most of the time the answer was no. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I talked about Spiderverse the last week not last week, but our previous show.
Right.
Please feel free to go search our archives, folks, if you'd like to listen to the previous show, our wrap-up of 2018. And I think I did mention that this was my favorite animated film of 2018.
Yeah, no, it was definitely worth it. Yeah. I think I will not be shocked if it wins an Oscar.
Yeah.
I won't
one of those films where you go in with low expectations and it far exceeds it. Same thing with the first Wreck-It Ralph, which is why the second Wreck-It Ralph wasn't as good for me, or second Incredibles. I went in with high expectations, and those expectations were not met. Yeah. As far as met expectations, what about, are we done talking about Spidey?
Yeah, we can be done talking about Spidey.
All right. So what about Aquaman? Did you go in with low expectations for...
I was excited to see Aquaman. I don't know that I was sitting there expecting it to be the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I did have expectations that I thought this was going to be a good movie, and it was. Maybe I overshot where I thought it would be. Did you see it yet or no?
No, I have not seen Aquaman yet.
Okay, so I'll try to be a little spoiler free. I just felt like there were times where there was just a little bit too much at points, where it was maybe too much special effects. There was too much of the big battles, or there were just some parts where it felt long at points. And it was funny, I have friends who were like, "You're kidding." I'm like, no, I felt like at times I got bored. Like there were things that could have been like, that could have been cut out. And maybe we didn't need that. I also felt like this movie almost takes us a little bit backward from Justice League. In that, it's funny because, and I can't remember who I was discussing this with, and they were like, yeah, but this shows that he's a hero above the land and below the sea. And I'm like, but didn't that happen already when he was Justice League?
Justice League, yeah.
I mean, and they're like, no, that was, and someone was trying to explain to me, I'm like, you don't think that a global cataclysmic problem is a problem for everyone? And so I guess that's where my other disconnect comes in. I thought he was great. I thought Amanda Heard was great. I liked a lot of what I saw. I thought it was fun. I liked it for the most part, but again, there was just something where I was just kind of like, this could have been shaved down a little bit, or this fight the end fight sequence I felt like was a little, at times it was hard to watch. Or
it was just a CG.
Yeah,
mess?
It just turned into a CG thing, and I was just like, there was a fight near the end that was better about it, but the CG part, I just felt like there was a little too much there, and I thought we lost direction there a little bit. But it is a good movie. I'm glad that it's doing really, really well. I'm glad we're going to get another Aquaman film. To me, this goes back to something that we've talked about for a while, which is, now that Zack Snyder has kind of out of these pictures, they had, when Batman v Superman came out, Wonder Woman was almost done. Wonder Woman was pretty much in the can, and Justice League had just finished up wrapping, and Suicide Squad was already like in the can too. So when things went to hell after Batman v Superman, they went back and did some reshoots, and it worked out fine it worked out okay for Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
It sort of worked out okay for Suicide Squad, in that I know there are people who just to this day are still like, I don't understand you like that movie, but there are a lot of people who do like that movie, and the numbers were good. Again, we talked about the late August time slot, and that helped it too. But Justice League I still like that movie, but it's still a hodgepodge mess. But really, Aquaman is the first of the movies beyond real anything where it's like, okay, Zack Snyder's involved. And you can tell. You can tell that there's a difference.
There's a different tone.
Yeah, there's a different tone. It's a lot more colorful. And that's not to say that I don't think Momoa's character changes that much. I just feel like it's definitely far more colorful. It's not this gradient color scheme, and it's definitely a different feel. And, Shazam will take that to another level in the spring. And I'm curious what that does with Wonder Woman, and then we'll see. We'll see where they go. I really hope that, they do try to do a second Justice League movie. I think it's a mistake to not try. But
I think they're going to have to wait until after some kind of reboot if they're going to switch. All these rumors about Cavill's out and Affleck don't want to do it no more and everything else.
Well, it's interesting because now all of this was predicated on the fact that there were execs at Warner who saw Avengers and said, we want that. We have the Justice League, and the Justice League is bigger than the Avengers, and the names of some of these characters are bigger than the Avengers, which is true. But here's the thing: they built to that, and they thought they could slingshot their way, and maybe it might have worked, but the person that they chose to do that didn't. Some people say he did a great job. For me, I don't think so. And for most people, I don't think so. But, you know, it's funny because now they're going the other direction with it, which is we're just going to make these movies, which is what they should have done in the first place.
Yeah, a bunch of one-offs to build up to it.
Right. And I don't even know that really they needed to connect to a universe, so to speak, as much as they needed these one-offs just to build some of these characters. I would not be shocked if they went and did a Justice League where maybe it's not Superman. Maybe it's Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Shazam. I don't know. You get the idea.
Right.
You know, maybe there's no Superman. Maybe there isn't a Batman. Maybe you go with those three characters, and I don't know.
A Justice League without the Trinity, though, I don't know. It could happen, maybe. Who knows?
I don't think it's nearly. I mean, maybe it's just because I've seen in the comics where it's not been an issue. You know, one of the best-selling runs of Justice League was the Justice League International run, which was the Bwahaha days of you know, Keith Giffen and McGuire and those guys, and they didn't have Superman. And they didn't have Wonder Woman. They had people like Guy Gardner. And yeah, they had Batman. They did have Shazam, but Shazam was only there for a small period of time. They had the Martian Manhunter, but I mean, they have like freaking Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Yeah.
And that book sold, and the reason it sold was they were good stories and they were funny as hell. So I think it's possible. You know, honestly, Mike, if the Captain Marvel movie does well, and I don't know what comes after that, but if they can rebuild the Justice League with a few different characters after a good launch with Wonder Woman and Aquaman, who are popular at the moment, and if Shazam works, yeah, why not?
We'll see what 2020 brings after what happens here this year.
Well, I know that there's that Joker film that that everybody is just raving about. What's his name? Joaquin Phoenix, and that's the Scorsese thing.
Yeah, I watched Gladiator on TNT over the holidays.
Oh, I love
it. It's
that
like,
movie.
oh yeah, it's Joker.
Yeah,
he's fighting Jor-El.
Yeah, that's really funny. I saw a meme. I saw a meme the other day where everything's better with lightsabers, and someone had removed the medieval weapons with lightsabers, and it was cool.
Nice.
It was pretty cool.
Everything is, yeah.
All right, so we kind of talk about. We can kind of get more spoilery now. I would love to talk to you about Bumblebee.
Okay. But first, before we're on the subject of DC, I did see 3 more episodes of Titans.
Oh, okay. Let's
over the holidays. And it was fine. I think it's going in the right direction. It's a little better. I'm starting to get into this chair that is Titans, and it's starting to get a little bit more comfortable. I think that's the best analogy I can come up with. And yeah, they did tease the Doom Patrol, and I have no idea who the Doom Patrol are. But now I guess they're getting their own spin-off series, and I'm fine with that. They seemed interesting.
Yeah, they are.
Well, but yeah, 3 more episodes in. I know the first season is done, so later this year, hopefully the next month or so, I can get finished with season 1 of Titans, and it's just okay for me.
So I read the spoilers on the season finale, so I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay, thank you. When I did see 2 more episodes of Orville, but I'm just okay.
Yeah, we'll maybe get to that here in a minute.
Yeah, a little later, yeah.
But in terms of Titans, Doom Patrol really in reality actually existed before. Well, I shouldn't say existed before. The current iteration, the Wolfman Perez iteration, which is kind of what this show is based off of. Doom Patrol existed before that. It's the original group that Gar aka Beast Boy, was a part of.
Right.
So that's kind of where the link is, and they're backdoor piloting to get that moving. What frustrates me is apparently Cyborg is going to be in the Doom Patrol show, and I understood when you couldn't have Cyborg because he was part of the Justice League movie and you didn't want to do that. Okay, fine. Now you're putting him in the Doom Patrol, and I'm kind of annoyed. Yeah. And I'm sure this is me sounding like having a nerd rage, but Cyborg's a freaking Titan. He's always been a Titan. That's where he started. Why can't we have him in the Titans? Why?
Because they want to build up and try and have crossover events like the CW. Maybe that's their
maybe
that's their game.
We should talk about that too.
Yeah,
we should talk about that too. But I am considering, now that all the episodes are done, I am considering buying it for a month and watching the episodes and seeing. I am tempted to wait because the Young Justice show is back, and I've seen the trailers for that, and that looks amazing. If anything, Young Justice seems to be the show that I want to watch, not the Titans show. But that's again, they're gonna release those episodes every week, so there's a part of me where I'm like, okay, do I want to wait? Do I want to wait until those are all fully released, and then I can watch all the Titans episodes and all the Young Justice episodes and kind of get them out and be able to do that all at once. So I'm tempted to do it that way. But what were your thoughts on what you saw?
Still, I think just a little bit too gratuitous of swearing. I think they're just trying to make themselves too edgy in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, I'm not one of those like, oh, the swears, oh, my virgin ears.
Yeah.
It just seems still forced to me. And but there's one scene where they're, okay, we're in a room together, we need to practice. If we're going to work as a team, we need to know what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a cool scene where they're just like testing each other's powers.
Okay.
Like, this is what I can do, and poof, I do that. Or this is what I can do, or and that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, there's still parts of it that are good, and it's starting to grow on me.
Okay.
But they introduced, now who was Red Hood again? Was that Todd?
That's Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, okay. Because in this is just minor spoilers. Now that Dick Grayson's been doing his own thing as a cop, and now he's with the Titans, when he left Batman, he got Todd right away.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're currently holed up as of episode 6, they're holed up in one of Bruce Wayne's safe houses, and mm-hmm. Jason Todd is kind of like their guide, because they still can't have anyone as Batman. And that's the thing that's still kind of rubbing me the wrong way, is that just have someone as Batman. If you can have Superman on the CW with Supergirl, just have a guy.
Because it's all over Facebook, I will tell you that he's in the final episode of Titans.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I will tell you that now, that he's in the final episode of Titans.
Yeah, but okay, then that makes it even more of a, I don't know, it just seems like a cock tease to me. But
actually, it's funny you said that. That reminds me of.
It's like Charlie Brown, like Robin and Raven and Starfire are the Peanuts gang, and Batman is like the wah 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 adult. That's what it seems like to me.
It's interesting because I don't know how much you're aware or what you're not aware of, but Jason Todd, who eventually becomes the Red Hood,
right?
But this is Jason Todd before the Joker supposedly kills Jason Todd,
right?
So that's the interesting part of all this. This is the question becomes, when does Dick Grayson become Nightwing instead of Robin? Which if the good news is it's clear they're going that direction, which I think is great. I will at least give them that. I think this is one of those times where I'm going to watch this and I'm going to have to sit there and bite my tongue a lot and sit there and be like, oh, why are they doing that?
Yeah, that's yeah. If you were doing it with the original Teen Titans cartoon, then you're definitely going to be doing it with this series.
I'm going to talk about that. I mean, I read the original stuff back in the day. I mean,
we know you're old school, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm not usually that bad about it with other comic stuff and all that stuff, but this is kind of one of those. This is the one where it's like, boy, I'd really love you to get it right, and it's really sounding like, yeah, they're not really getting it right. They're doing what they feel like doing, and I'm like, well, why can't you just do this one right?
Yeah.
Well,
in my mind, it's like kind of almost there. It's like, and just pick what you can out of it and enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can do it. Like I said, at some point I'll watch it. Speaking of things I watched, and I had given up on Gotham somewhere around mid-season 2. I just didn't find it interesting.
Right.
And there just didn't happen to be anything to watch last week. And the finale, the first
season of the first episode of the final season.
Yeah, came out. And gotta tell you, interested.
Strong? Okay, good.
Interested. Very, very interested. Hadn't watched it in a while. Interesting to see what some of the characters have gone and whatnot. And I didn't feel like I needed to go back and watch seasons 3 and 4 because I still kind of had a feel for what was going on. But they're playing out the No Man's Land storyline from the Batman series. And, it's interesting because obviously, technically you don't have Batman. But it's interesting enough because it seems to be working, and the reason it seems to be working is because of some of the things they're doing with it. And I was intrigued enough to want to watch and to continue to watch. So I put on my record list. I'm going to definitely give the final season a shot. I still don't like the kid who plays Bruce Wayne. I'm still not a fan.
Is it the same actors growing up?
Yeah, it's the same guy. It's the same guy. I didn't feel. I still look at him and go, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I thought it was interesting, and I guess the Joker-like character that they have on this guy who they call Jerome. Okay, I guess he shot Selina in front of Bruce, and apparently now she may not be able to walk. And I'm just curious if they're going to flip that around and turn her into
Oracle,
into Oracle or something like that,
right?
And go that route, or if they're going to find a way to. They made mention of something about you need to bring her to the witch, and I'm not sure who they're talking about. That immediately rings a bell for me in terms of which characters that would be of Batman mythos that immediately gets into my brain. But again, it kept my interest, which is what it didn't do when I stopped watching it. So I'll give it another shot and see if it's worthwhile.
Maybe they're pulling all the stops out for the final season. Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of where I feel like that they figured out how to get to the home stretch, which is good. Because they're going to need it. The crossover, because at the time when we were last recording, the crossover was not over. I felt I enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as Crisis on Earth X from the previous year, but and I don't think it's any spoilers to sit there and say this. But they are now officially building the Crisis on Infinite Earths next year. So that's got a lot of people excited. And I mean a lot of people excited. I'm curious what exactly they're going to do with it. I did enjoy the fact that, we got to see Superman quite a bit in the episode. There's some things I still don't understand about why certain characters are on Supergirl's Earth and not technically the Earth 1 Earth, if you know what I mean. That's kind of weird. It's interesting. I guess there was enough done with Batwoman that now they're going to move forward with a Batwoman series, which
that's cool.
I'm happy about.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I thought she was good. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with this. I'm curious if one of the things they're going to do is that they're really going to do what they did in the original Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is eventually they combined all the Earths into one Earth. And if they do that, that would mean you finally have Supergirl on the same Earth as Arrow and Flash and all those others. And it would be interesting because now that you're going to have Batwoman, to do a Batwoman Supergirl crossover would be fun. It would be a lot of fun, and that would be interesting. So we'll see. There's speculation based on what we saw that we'll see where Arrow's going. I don't.
Still watching Flash?
I'm watching Flash. I am watching all of them. Are you watching any of them, or just?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I will say Flash is better this year. Arrow continues to be a show that I like the characters. But yet the stories sometimes just are like, I'm bored. Or, okay, let's get to something interesting. Or something along those lines. I feel like Black Lightning, which was great last year, just really isn't doing it for me right now. It's interesting though, because they are introducing characters. Like some of the characters from like The Outsiders and whatnot. Legends of Tomorrow I enjoy, but honestly, it's not been nearly as fun as the last couple seasons. I think they've gotten a little too quirky now, and they're playing into it too much. But I do like their villain that they're setting up for the back half of the season. Really, the show that's really been really good is Supergirl. Supergirl's really been phenomenal. That they're doing a lot about. Supergirl's gotten more than a little political. And they've kind of actually been talking about, aliens versus humans, and and obviously there's some metaphors to that.
Yeah, the current political climate, yeah.
About the current political climate. But I really kind of feel like they're doing a really good job of it. And I'm curious to see where they're going to go with it. And what they're going to do and how they're going to resolve some of this.
All right. Cool.
Like I said, that's that. So we'll see.
So yeah, that's DC Comics in a nutshell, right there.
Yeah. For the most part, I mean, I'm trying.
There's some parts that they do have their shit together in a lot of ways.
Yeah, they do. I mean, that's the good news is they do kind of have their. They
can't poo-poo the whole franchise just because the Justice League movie was subpar.
Yeah, or the Superman v Batman wasn't very good, or all, you get the idea. So, but yeah, I think that in some ways there are pieces that they get and they're working on and they're doing a good job with it.
Yeah.
I think they're rounding the corner on the movies, which is the good news.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna get that DVD when it comes out with Reign of the Supermen, which is the follow-up to the animated Death of Superman.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get that when that comes out. So.
By the way, one other amusing part, real fast, we were talking about that. So we were talking about that Into the Spiderverse won a Golden Globe for Best Picture in terms of animated. So I guess Black Panther did not win for Best Picture. And, of course, there are geek nerds out there furious at the snub, which I kind of find funny because Bohemian Rhapsody won, and I'm like kind of sitting there going, it's a good movie.
Yeah, my mom was upset that Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper didn't win for A Star Is Born. So.
Yeah, and honestly, I've seen that movie too, and that was really good too.
Yeah. But I liked Bohemian Rhapsody, so I'll buy that DVD when it comes out.
Right. In fairness, I like all three movies. I think all three movies are really good. I think Black Panther is a great movie. I think Star Is Born is a great movie. I think Bohemian Rhapsody is a great movie. So I found it funny when I saw this, that there are fans furious about the Golden Globe stuff. What are you so mad about? I don't.
Because these are participation trophies, really, that they're getting handed out to. And this is the foreign press too, so.
Yeah, well.
Not to say that's delegitimizing the awards, but it's nice to win accolades in your field, but Black Panther made $1.2 billion. I mean, think you can kind of a reward in and of itself.
How about the fact that a Marvel movie has finally actually been nominated for Best Picture?
Yeah, Kevin Feige was on the red carpet, and he's saying, this is the first time I'm at the Globes.
Yeah.
So, good on him.
Yeah, I mean, that to me, the fact that they're even being acknowledged, that's the win. Yeah. I mean, would it have been nice for them to have won? That would have been great, but there are some really great movies out there right now, and to sit there and say, oh, that's a snub, I'm not feeling that.
You got nominated. That's not a snub.
No, it's really not.
You're in the contenders. To not get nominated is a snub.
Yeah,
surely.
That's a snub. Yeah. If anything, my complaint legitimately could be, well, how come Infinity War didn't get a nomination?
That's right. And in my opinion, well, Infinity War, I was listening to another podcast last week, and it's like, I think Infinity War cannot exist by itself. Yeah. Infinity War is a movie in its class all its own.
Yeah.
Because, like what they've said, in a vacuum, Infinity War means nothing. Like, if they started with Infinity War, no one would have been like, what the hell is going on? It was 10 years of building up to that. And that's like the big reward, I think. But Black Panther was still good. Ant-Man was good. But Infinity War was my favorite movie of the year, only because I'm invested in all these characters.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I just thought I'd bring it up for 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I agree.
All right, Bumblebee.
Yes.
I'll let you take the lead. You're more of the Transformers guy.
That was fantastic. Well, I'd say my second favorite of the live-action Transformers movies, just after the first one, was 2007. And we just did today, I think, it was early yesterday or today, we did lose the actor who did the bit role as Sam Witwicky's ancestor. He was in a bit role, and he had like 1 or 2 scenes, I think, where he discovers Megatron and he finds the map leads to the Allspark Cube or whatever. But so he passed away just recently, and he's done a lot of stuff in Trek and Doctor Who too. So that's he was 86 years old. So I don't have the actor's name here in front of me, but that happened earlier today. So very sad. But yeah, getting back to Bumblebee, yeah, it met my expectations, and of course, almost all the scenes that were on Cybertron were leaked. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of new stuff to see on Cybertron. I think they just released too much of what their cards show. I think might have been a reaction. Some people are saying it's a reaction to San Diego Comic-Con when we saw this gray and red F4 Phantom that makes a Decepticon, and everyone thought, oh, he's Blitzwing. And Travis Knight says, oh, no, that's Blitzwing. And we're like, what? So I think this was kind of all the Cybertron scenes, I think, seemed after the fact and was more just G1 for the sense just appealing to the people who like the original stuff, the old cartoon, the way the old aesthetic was, which is pretty much boxes, which is what they kind of got away from in the Michael Bay movies, because not to say there was an extreme, but anyway, yeah, it was a great story, and it worked out very well. I think it was maybe everyone's saying, this is the movie we should have got first. Like, no, it's a movie we got, and it was good. Now, John Cena, some people will be all like, he didn't. They gave him more to do, I guess, in the light of these reshoots. And there's one scene where he's in the helicopter, and I think he's by himself in the helicopter. And at the end, he's chasing down the 2 Decepticons, Shatter and Dropkick, and he's like, "Oh, got him!" And they shoot his helicopter down, and Bumblebee kind of semi-catches the helicopter at the end, kind of saving him, kind of being like, "Okay, you're not the enemy here." But there were just some minor nitpicks with the story. One being having to blow up a garage door to their own building with a ton of C4, which could have made a lot of things crazy, but oh well, yeah, it was great. I liked Bumblebee a lot, and I think I'm going to see it again this week. One of my Transformer buddies wants to see it. He saw it with his family. He couldn't make it to the premiere with me because he wanted to see it with his kids, and I'm fine with that. So we're going to go see it ourselves and critique it again, because this is my jam. This is my biggest hobby. All my last 35 years of my life been invested in this franchise. So I enjoyed it a lot, and I think it was great. There were some personal analogies that I didn't want to, because my dad had a Corvette, a lot like Charlie's, that she and her dad were putting together. So that was kind of got it kind of hit home a little hard, and maybe I did get a little teary-eyed at one or two scenes, especially at the end, but it was great. The action was great. The story was fantastic. You know, it was like, it's not like people are like comparing it to Iron Giant or E.T. And people and reading other reviews saying, yeah, they're comparing it to an 80s Spielberg film in that sense. But I still enjoy it thoroughly. And there's a couple scenes I laughed, and the action was cool, and I enjoyed it. So, yeah, Bumblebee, and dug it, and I'll see it. Now, you liked it too, right?
I did. I liked that it had a lot more heart to it than a lot of the Michael Bay stuff.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest, I was missing some of the Michael Bay-ish moments of Transformers where, you have the big, everything is in peril and everything is downtrodden and nothing's gonna go right and it's all, and they're gonna lose, and then this big, here's the big music and here they come and, all of that, and there wasn't, the fight sequences were okay. They were certainly easier to watch than some of the ones that Bay has ever done. But at the same time, I just didn't feel like they were as bigger than life that Bay sometimes brought to the party.
Yeah, and the stakes were lower, to be sure.
Right, and it kind of felt that way sometimes when I was watching the movie. And the other thing is, maybe, and you know the character better than I do, but I always felt Bumblebee was kind of a badass. So the fact that he can't seemingly take on two Decepticons kind of surprises me.
Well, he's always been the smallest. And again, going back to that's what the portrayal of Bumblebee in the last 5 movies on screen. Bumblebee's been a Camaro. He's not been a Volkswagen because of the whole partnership with Chevrolet and GM and Paramount and all that. That was a result of that. And that Michael Bay didn't want a Volkswagen Bee. And Hasbro said, so long as it's yellow, shrug. So that's why B was a Camaro the last 5.
Yeah, as long as it's yellow and the money is green.
That's right.
We're good.
And we need a scene where Bumblebee urinates on a man. Can you do that? Oh, sure, we can do. No, not in this one though. But Bumblebee in the original portrayal, he's always been the smallest, and usually just for stealth.
I guess. I just always seem to remember him in the Bay movie. Again, this is me watching the Bay movies.
Right.
Going, okay, he's kind of a badass. And I'm like, well, he could take.
In this one, he's a puppy dog, pretty much.
Right. Well, and in fairness, this is a prequel. Technically, this is a prequel. So okay, maybe he's not who he's going to be.
B. I see what you see there.
Oh wow, that was bad. I didn't realize I did that. That's really bad.
And it did sting, didn't it?
Oh, really?
All right, we're gonna let that fly.
Oh my God, we're never gonna get out of this back. Okay, the other thing was a lot of Haley Steinfeld. A lot.
Well, we had a lot of Sam Witwicky in the first one.
A lot of Haley Steinfeld. A lot of the family.
I know. But she is in the poster, and she is kind of like the main human character.
I guess, but it kind of felt like her movie rather than Bumblebee's movie. It's like, oh yeah, here's Bumblebee.
Well, them CG costs a lot of monies.
Yeah, and it's funny. That's the reason why I think they did it the way they did it, and that's the reason why I'm sitting there going, "Hey, it's the Charlie movie," and P.S. Here's Bumblebee.
Yes. Yeah, well, that was the joke of the first movie because we didn't have the budget, and then when the second one came, we got giant ones, we got combiners, when we had all this crazy action with the pyramids, and we still had, but it was still a human story.
I still like the one scene in the pyramids where what's his name's in the car, and he's like, one man. You're not one man. I'm right here.
I'm right here. One man alone, betrayed by the country he loves.
Yeah, you're not alone. I'm sitting next to you.
And if you did, there was a name drop where John Cena says, Agent Simmons, let's go. A young Agent Simmons is in this movie.
Is he? Okay.
Yes.
I think that's the other thing, too. I really don't feel like they gave John Cena enough to do.
I think they gave him enough to do.
I guess. I just feel like he could have done more in this movie.
Yeah.
He could have done more.
But he gets it. But at the end, he gets it. Especially when the scientists are all like, wow, these Decepticons, they're showing us how to do all these cool things. And he's like, is there a reason why they're called Decepticons?
Yeah.
We shouldn't trust these?
He definitely is the smartest one of them.
Yeah.
I think in the last fight, I would like to have seen him turn it around a little bit more, where maybe he was part of the whole Team Bumblebee thing and kind of like a Josh Duhamel kind of thing.
Yeah, but we had enough of that already. He was kind of like, that was the appeal of the Bee, where he's like on the runs, like, you can't get caught, oh no. Where we've had that. We've had all this, what they used to call, what they call military porn, where all the jets and tanks and army guys doing somersaults and blowing up Decepticons with their high-capacity heat rounds or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know that I was looking for that as much as just basically, I don't know. I think Cena's a talented guy, and I think Cena has a lot going for him, and I really do think that they could have found more for him to do in this movie. I mean, given the amount of time that you gave Haley Steinfeld, you could have found time for John Cena. You could have figured out a way to get him more in the script. Because I think I'd rather, and again, I think part of this too goes back to, it's really clear who was getting targeted here. This movie is such a for kids movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is definitely for your teens, your younger kids, especially with the way that Bumblebee is portrayed.
Yeah. Where he's like, oops, oh, I'm on the couch. Oh, I broke the couch. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, the cute kind of cute puppy dog kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was really aimed towards kids.
Yeah.
And maybe part of that is, we're competing against Aquaman. So how do we do that and at the same time get the action film stuff?
Yeah.
And maybe that's your answer. It's interesting because I guess, at the time of when we're recording this, I'm under the impression it finally got released in China, and now it's really kind of catching up to Aquaman.
Yeah, it's doing fine for itself. The first week, all us Transformer fans were like, oh my god, Aquaman's killing it in China. Will it ever get released in China? Oh no. But yeah, it made it in China, and now, B is fine. It's made like half of what the Last Night made, but it's still doing really good for itself, considering the budget and the promotion monies they put towards it. Yeah, it's doing fine. So.
Well, I think that's the reason too why I kind of laugh, because it's like, I think I wanted more Cena, because really in reality, Cena was big on promoting this movie in certain places and markets.
Yeah, he was really on that junket. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really out there for this movie. Matter of fact, I just saw something where he took like 21 Make-A-Wish kids to like see the movie or something.
Yeah, that was great.
Cena's that kind of guy. I've told you this before. I think I said this about 3 or 4 years ago. I think Cena in the next decade is going to be right up there with The Rock.
I see that.
In terms of being that kind of star. I think he's got that kind of ability, and he's proved it.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought it was interesting because he talked to, I don't know if you caught this, I'd be happy to be Captain America.
I don't know.
If the problem is that you're trying to fill Chris Evans' shoes, and right now that's difficult.
He's a little too square-jawed, I think. I don't know.
I'd like him better as Superman.
Where do you fit? Yeah, where would you fit? No. I'd see him...
Captain Marvel, you know what? Shazam would have been a good thing for him.
Yeah, I think so.
Shazam would have been perfect for him. He is kind of the perfect Shazam-y kind of guy.
He has that sense of humor about him.
Yeah.
I think where he could be like, oh, I'm a 10-year-old kid.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Zachary Levi's going to do great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Shazam.
But I think John Cena would have been...
I think it worked.
I think John Cena would work. And in fairness, if you never had Chris Evans, John Cena as Captain America, I could do it.
Yeah.
I could do it. The problem is Chris Evans has just been so amazing. So now you have this definite image of what Captain America should look like.
Right.
Kind of like sitting there and I'm like, but when you think about all the things that John Cena talks about and how he is and who he is and what he does, yes, Cena embodies kind of the Captain America work ethic and who he is and what he is. So there's a part of me where I'm like, yeah, I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another time, especially after Avengers 4, after Endgame that's coming, about what the fate of these actors and these characters and getting replaced by other actors.
Yeah, we'll see if that's where they go or what they're going to do.
Who retires and who dies and who gets replaced by some MacGuffin.
Well, I'm curious if any of them get replaced. I don't think that's really going to... I don't know. I don't know that that's going to happen. I have a weird feeling about... I have a feeling that they're... Right now with what they've got, and now that they've got access to all of the... You got access to Fantastic Four, now you got access to all the X-Men stuff. Really, in reality...
Maybe this is the last Avengers movie.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's the last Avengers movie, but I certainly am not sure. I'm certainly not sure that right now you need yet to recast Captain America or you need to recast Iron Man. I don't think that's necessary right now. I think you could... Now, in fairness, now I'm thinking about this a little clearer, if you could actually do something really interesting with this, which is back in the 80s, Rhodey becomes Iron Man.
Right.
Before he ever becomes War Machine, Rhodey actually spends time as Iron Man because Tony is still getting over being an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And for a period of time, James Rhodes was Iron Man. So it's not inconceivable that you could go to Don Cheadle and go, hey, you know what, you're going to be Iron Man.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, Don Cheadle's kind of old. I think he's just too old to play him, but that's just me.
Well,
I'd rather see Shuri from Wakanda take over as Iron Man.
Yeah, that would be interesting
because we currently have a young African American girl as Ironheart. There's been rumors out there that they're talking about Riri Williams. Yeah,
they're talking about that.
Yeah.
Just like it's interesting because really in reality, in Homecoming, they Donald Glover is playing Miles Morales' cousin who becomes the Prowler.
Yeah.
And or uncle like they saw in Spiderverse. That character exists, and he's talking about his little cousin his little cousin is Miles. Yeah. That means Miles technically exists in the in the MCU. So here's the interesting question. What if Marvel and Sony decide to switch after Tom Holland's contract is over and bring in Miles Morales?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, there's a lot there. I don't know how much we're going to find out until after some of these movies come out, but the only other movie I saw over the holidays was Mary Poppins.
Okay. How was that?
I enjoyed it. I just felt like there was way too much Lin-Manuel Milton. Too much from the Hamilton guy. Lin-Manuel Miranda or whatever. I can't say his name now. Mm-hmm. I felt like there was a lot of him. And there wasn't one real song that I came out of the movie going, oh, that's the song. You know what I mean? Like there, you don't, when you think of the original, it's like you right away people start singing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious or something. You know what I mean? Did
they sing Spoonful of Sugar?
No, they did all new songs. There were like musical refrains at times to some other music within it. I I thought Angela Lansbury was really a great cameo. Compared to, that's not to say I'm not impressed by Dick Van Dyke, but I thought Angela Lansbury was actually better than Dick Van Dyke in her cameo. But like I said, it was solid. You could tell that Disney knew that they couldn't screw this one up. I thought it was an interesting story. At the same time,
does it take place in current day?
No.
Like present day? No.
No, it's about 20, maybe about 20 years after the original, technically.
Okay, and that's what, like 40s, 1940s? Is there television, or?
Isn't it the 1800s? Because they're still doing, or I don't know when it is. Because they're still doing all the stuff with, like, the lighting of candles and chimney sweeps.
Okay, all right. No electricity yet. Okay.
Right, so, I thought Emily Blunt was good. It was funny, one of my family members thought she was awfully stern, but then again, that's all British. Isn't that all British nannies? Isn't that, like, kind of the thing?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Again, this goes back to when I sat there and said, Into the Spiderverse was awesome. Every other movie I was like, it was good. It was okay.
Right.
It was good. It was okay. Spiderverse, I'm like, wow, that was amazing. Everybody has to see this movie.
Would you say it was amazing?
Yeah.
Would you say it was spectacular?
Yes.
Okay.
I would even say it was, what's the other one? Oh, damn it. What's the other names of some of the, it was like a web of Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember some of the other ones. I think they've all just gone back down to Amazing, and Amazing gets done multiple times a month now.
Right.
Although I think there's a Spider-Man team up. Did you know I think there's a permanent Spider-Man Deadpool team up book now?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not following all of the books.
No, yeah.
There's so many to follow.
Yeah, there's a ton of content out there.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But also, Mary Poppins was good then. Okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Right.
I would definitely say, worth seeing. In fairness, I kind of laugh because it's like, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody and I saw Stars Born and Into the Spider-Verse, and I thought all of those were kind of better movies than, the other three that I saw, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
I still do want to see Vice. I think that's going to be interesting. I don't know if you caught, I guess Christian Bale won for
Cheney, yeah.
For Cheney, and he praised Satan.
Hail Satan!
And apparently the Church of Satan has thanked him.
Thank you, Christian Bale. Okay.
Apparently they note that Bale's Dark Knight era Batman is the best Batman ever. Thank you.
Okay. Christian Bale, yeah.
I guess the quote was, "Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role."
Now, I watched a couple of documentaries. I did watch the Robin Williams documentary over the holidays. Come Inside My Mind or something like that. Come Inside My Head.
I caught a little bit of that.
Yeah, it was very telling. He had a really not a sad childhood, but understood because he was an only child, and he spent a lot of alone time. And you could see that he was a man who just had tons of time to himself to imagine all this stuff and wire how his head was put together to create all these voices and jumping in and out of these characters. It was great. And of course, seeing the outtakes of him with Elmo was great. So yeah, it was interesting too. What else did I do? Like I said, I watched 2 more episodes of The Orville. Orville's fine. It's comedy. It's a workplace comedy in space. And what else did I see over the holiday? Yeah, I caught Titans. I had to make a smarter person would have made a list or written these down.
That's okay, I understand.
Yeah. But I wanted to see more movies. I wanted to see Aquaman, and it's on my list. but it's just there.
Well, you'll get to it.
Yeah, it's there. I'll get it eventually.
I guess ahead of the Star Wars expansion, Disneyland increased tickets to where their cheapest daily ticket is now over $100.
Wow, yeah, I caught that headline on the Squares of the Round Table Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did catch that, and I skimmed the article, and I guess the highest priced daily, is this a daily ticket for $1,900? What do you get for $2,000 in a day?
I don't think it's daily.
Or is that just like a weekend pass or something?
I don't know. I didn't see that. I'm looking at something here that says the least expensive one-day ticket into Disney World Florida is $109, and at a one-day ticket, a one-day one-park ticket is now $104 for low-demand days.
Wow.
It's an increase of 25%. I guess a lot of this is to get ready for this big Star Wars Galaxy's Edge thing that's coming.
Yeah, this Star Wars land is coming up both in Disney World and Disneyland?
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
That is my understanding. There is there is a little bit of news on this Mandalorian show that apparently IG-88 is going to be in it.
Okay.
So
he was such a great character in The Empire Strikes Back.
Right. And then, I don't know if you caught this, apparently Mark Hamill revealed some rather revealing information on National Trivia Day. And the question to him was, are there any little known facts about Star Wars that we don't know? Here is what Hamill has told the world. Because of a record heat wave in England, when we filmed the original Star Wars, most of the pilots were only the top half of their costume, attacking the Death Star wearing these shorts.
Well, there's several scenes, like when in A New Hope, when Red Leader was pretty sweaty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny.
They destroyed the Death Star with no pants.
Well, and it's funny because somebody asked them about that, and they said that there was constant mop downs between takes.
Yeah. Oof.
And apparently he knows a lot about Star Wars 9, but can't tell anybody.
Episode 9 now. And now there's rumors that Harrison Ford might have filmed something, like for a flashback or something.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear anything about that.
I saw a headline today.
Boy, I gotta tell you, I haven't really, is this gonna sound bad as a Star Wars fan? I really haven't paid attention.
It's been on everybody's back burner, and we got Solo last year, but Solo was after Infinity War, so it was just kind of an afterthought. It's like, yeah, we got Solo. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, and I have a Sunday pass to Celebration.
Do you?
So I'm going to Celebration for a day.
Well, it's interesting. I'm still waiting to hear back. Somebody asked me to be a part of of something that may take place there. Oh. And if that's the case, they've asked me to do some presenting, and I would be getting into Celebration. I'd be doing presentation at Celebration.
Wow.
So, but I have not heard anything back, and they were supposed to have found out by now. So I'm thinking the answer is no, but I'm going to hold out hope. If that's the case, they were like, oh yeah, we'll get you in for free, and I'm like, oh, that sounds great.
Jeff Hope. Convention appearances are built on hope.
Yes, they are. Especially if I want to present. So that we'll see. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of it's not a cheap ticket, that's for sure.
No, it was just to get in on Sunday. Of course, the Friday and Saturday sold out like super quick.
Is it really?
Yeah. I think the only thing that's left is either, Sunday and Monday, are the only days that aren't sold out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm holding that weekend at the moment because, like I said, I was part of a group that they wanted to come in and possibly to do a presentation on why we love Star Wars or something. And I was like, that sounds like fun.
Oh, did you watch that YouTube short film about Bucketheads?
No, I have not.
No, okay. It was only 15 minutes, but it was fine. It was good.
No, I have not.
Just a quick story about stormtroopers. That's all.
So many stories about stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers.
Did you play? Let me ask you a question. Did you play anything during? Did you play anything about during the holidays?
Yeah, we did have a quick game session between a friend of mine. I'll have to look it up, but yeah, we did have one last night, and there was one we met up. I think it was just before New Year's or just before Christmas. I think we did one of what's the name of it called? Dark Gothic. Yeah, A Touch of Evil, Dark Gothic, and that was interesting. It's another one of those deck building games, like card games.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. The thing is that the company that makes the game, they don't use art. They just use photographs or 5, like pretty much cosplayers. And with a little bit of Photoshop here and there, make them kind of look kind of not, more a little more supernatural. But that was interesting. Just the card art was not art. It was photos. So that was interesting. But our latest game night, we had a quick game of Battle Kittens.
Battle Kittens?
Battle Kittens, where pretty much you win matches and you win fish based on cuteness, strength, wisdom, and I think one other attribute. But agility, yeah. Of course, because you're a kitten. That was fun. That was only like a quick 15-minute game. And then we had this one, it was Hasbro game from 2001, partnered with the late Parker Brothers. It was the Lord of the Rings. And this came out right when we had the Peter Jackson, because I remember the Two Towers came out in 2001. And that was the same year. And this game from Hasbro Gaming, it wasn't called Hasbro Gaming at the time, just Hasbro. But it had Parker's like spiral kind of logo on the side of the box. Mm-hmm. That made it the most interesting. And it's pretty much just making your way to the fires of Mount Doom. And I'm just throwing quotes the whole time from the movie. So that made it fun. It was cool. Like it's an old game from 2001 of Lord of the Rings. And that was fun. It was a classic kind of board game. Just get from one side of the board to the other. With, don't let Saruman get you. Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, it's... some of those games can be interesting. Like I said, I used to really enjoy board games. And it's funny, I posted something on the Facebook, our Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's kind of the reason why I've gotten to the point where I'm like, board games. Oh, God, board games. And I don't... It's not a, I almost hate to say it. It's like, I feel bad because I do like board games. I just get really, really frustrated.
It's just the people you keep company with.
I guess I'm playing with the wrong people. It's funny. I posted something, apparently somebody posted something about a guy who bitched for 5 straight hours wins board game at last second.
Was that a parody? Well, it was an Onion, was it?
Was it? I don't think. It's
I don't think so.
Times. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny because I've been in those games where literally you're like, why in the hell?
Yeah, you get frustrated when your die rolls suck, or when you flip the wrong card and you get the worst luck of the group.
Well, and it's funny because like the games that you seem to be playing are games where it's like, okay, they don't seem to take a long time. Okay?
Yeah. The Lord of the Rings game took about an hour, just over an hour.
Oh, no. I'm talking about games like...
Oh, you mean like, long-ass games, like Axis and Allies, yeah.
Games like Advanced Civ or Age of Renaissance or stuff like that. That's even longer than Axis and Allies. Makes Axis and Allies like a walk in the park. and you're just like, oh God, someone like, why did I agree to do this? What was I thinking? Diplomacy can get like that too sometimes, and I like diplomacy, but oh God, once you're on the back end of all of it, and if you're in a bad spot, you can't get out, you're stuck there for like playing a game that essentially for the next 4 hours, the only thing you're there to do is like, all right, who do I want to screw over the hardest?
Yeah, just to take your turn, and hopefully things can go your way if a certain amount of things fall into place, which sometimes they don't.
It's even worse than that. It's, all right, there's no way in hell anything's going to fall into my place unless something really, really wacky happens, and that's not happening. So really, in reality, who do I feel like making king for the day? You know what I mean?
But yeah, I did some gaming. Oh yeah, and I did get an Amazon gift card, so I did get the DC deck building game.
Oh yeah?
Cryptozoic. And I just love the game mechanics. It's fun, it's quick, it's easy, and it's more competitive, but it's still, you still gotta beat the bad guys, but you still want to be the best superheroes, and that's all about collecting victory points, which is cards you acquire by either purchasing them or defeating bad guys. But that was fun. That's why we have played that before, previous game nights, but I wanted it for myself so I can have it with other games, with other friends. So, but, you know, the gaming thing, has been, well, I think our game nights might be on hold for a while because one of my friends has scheduling problems and the other one just bought a house, so he's going to spend the next month of weekends moving out of his old house because he had paid an extra month of rent, so they're going to make it slow transition. So it might not be till February until I get any more game nights.
Well, and that's why sometimes I go to the gaming conventions just because, you know, that's an opportunity for me to play, and it's a good opportunity for that. And yeah, we did. You know, I did a lot of Star Wars over the weekend. So it was really a lot of fun. And
you think you want to do Gen Con this year?
I don't think I'm. You know, it's funny. I was having this conversation with somebody. The actual Gen Con doesn't cost a lot, but hotels at Gen Con at this point are so costly. Unless
you want to commute like a bunch of miles.
And it's funny because I was talking to somebody about that, and because, you know, there's a part of me where I'm like, okay, I could stay further out where it would be cheaper. And when I say farther out, in fairness, it wouldn't be super, super far.
You mean like 20 miles?
I mean, there's places that I know on the south side of Indy where I could get a hotel room and I could be at the convention in 15 minutes.
Oh, there you go.
In 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If I'm driving myself, I still have to wake up at the crack of dawn to get parking down there.
True.
That's the issue is it's like if you don't get down there to get parking, forget it. Now, you know, maybe with rideshare that would work a little better.
Or Lyft or Uber, you know.
Right. You know, that's a possibility too. Right. The other thought I had is I have friends of mine who get comps from the hotels because they're running stuff as judges. And there have been a couple times where I want to be like, tell you what, can I give you, I don't know, you know, can I just basically put my car on your room so that I can essentially, you know, use your parking, and I'll pay for the parking, for the daily parking. I just want to be able to park and not have to worry about finding a parking space.
Yeah, you know, less and less hotels are comping parking now.
Well, I don't mind paying the parking. The problem is if you're not staying at the hotel, chances are you're not getting in the lot. So that's part of the problem is if I've gotten to the point where it's like I don't want to stay like 4 people to a room, everybody's sleeping on the floor. God forbid you got to go to a bathroom.
Right. You don't want to be doing that where like just bring your sleeping bag and a pillow and your toothbrush.
Well, it goes beyond that. It's like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah. Oh, good. How long is this person going to be? I really gotta go.
Right.
You know, I don't.
Yeah, you want your own room. That's.
I kind of do.
Nice.
I kind of do. And in fairness, I might be willing to share with one other person, but everybody I talk to is always like, well, let's get more people. The room will get cheaper. I'm like, I get it, but I'm just like, these rooms are small.
Yeah, well, I'm at an age where I'm like, okay, I'll pay the extra $30 and we get 2 people to a room. Well, I'm just like, we'll get rooms for the group, but I want, there's 2 beds. I ain't sleeping on no floor no more,
Yeah, oh no, I'm with you 110%.
Yeah.
And that's why in some ways it's like, I'd rather go to the small, and that's the other thing. Like, I went to, the convention I went to over the weekend was at a Hyatt. I used all my Hyatt points. It pretty much cost me nothing.
Awesome.
Okay. But if I want to go to Gen Con, there's a Hyatt right there, and the irony is, they won't let me use my points that week.
Ah, see, that sucks.
Because I've thought about it before, and I'm like, the only thing I can come up with is, if practically, like in the fall, right after Gen Con ended, I called up and I was like, hey, I want to book a room for this week, and I had all the points available at that moment for an entire week, if you know what I mean. Then it would work. But, like I said, I just... The other thing is...
So the answer is you're probably not going to Gen Con this year.
Probably not. I mean, the other thing is, too, is Gen Con has now kind of gotten like Comic Con.
Yeah,
and Gen Con
huge.
Gen Con used to all be in one building.
Right, now it's sprawled out through several.
Now it's sprawled out to multiple areas.
Right.
And that's great. I'm happy for them, but I'm still used to back in the day where literally it was like, okay, I want to play this game at 8 o'clock to noon, and then I'm going to play this game over here at 8 o'clock to 11:45, and this game starts at noon, and I should be able to get there because it's really only going to take me 15 minutes to get there. Well, not the way it is now, unless you really sit down and plan out your day.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to be in this building.
Yeah.
All right, what are the slots I can use today in this building that keep me in this building that I can do this? I mean, you really have to sit down and be like, okay, what's in this building, what's in that building, all that kind of stuff, and it's frustrating. I mean, I don't know. Again, that's just me, but other people love it. Other people love it, and one of these days I'll go again, but I don't know if it's this year.
Yeah, this year I don't have anything planned. I'm just gonna just do the one day at Celebration in the end of April, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what weekend it is. It's in April, but it's a Sunday in April, and I'm off on Sunday, so I'll just drive there in the morning and I'll check and see how it is, and then I'll go home that afternoon because they're probably not gonna want to stay too long, but I'll try to take some pictures, just to take in this spectacle. I've never been to a Star Wars convention, and this is the big one, and it's in my backyard. And of course, I've just got DairyCon at the beginning of April with just a little Wisconsin Transformers show, and I think Ivan's going. I've got a couple of friends who've committed, so like I said, I'll get the rooms, and then they can pay me. I'm usually in charge of that, and I'm fine with that. I'll take care of the rooms, and then they just pay me. And then nobody sleeps on the floor.
Yeah,
But that's all I got planned for 2019 as far as conventions. Just the 2 in April, and that's it. So.
Yeah, I think that's where it's at, which is as I've gotten older, it's like I'm less interested in sleeping 4 to a room and all that other kind of stuff, and I'm just like, I just want to have a room, and
yeah, I want my own bed.
Yeah, I want my own bed.
Sleep.
I don't want to have to worry about some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not 25 anymore. I can't get like 3 hours sleep and function the next day.
I can still do that, but I'm not driving home on Sunday. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you right now, I cannot drive home on Sunday. Yeah. I have gotten to with Gen Con, it's 3 hours away. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Post-con crash?
Oh, within an hour.
You really?
Within an hour to an hour and a half.
You crash hard when the show's over?
Yeah, and it doesn't help if I slam caffeine. It does not help if I throw water in my eyes, all that stuff. I learned the first year I left and we did it, and the worst part was I was fine for about an hour and a half, which puts me past Purdue at that point. And the problem is, once you get past Purdue, there really ain't any place to stop until you get back up towards, like, Maryville. Right. Well, if you're in Maryville, you might as well go home.
Yeah. Yeah, Maryville is, like, super close.
Right. You get to Maryville, you might as well go home.
Yeah, because it's just got to get around the lake, and that's it. Right,
and so, but after I did it the first year, I was just like, I'm not doing that again. No. And it was funny because it wasn't just me. It was one of the other people I was with because it was one of the other people I was with, and it was really kind of amusing because it was like we went out to go get something to eat, and we're eating, and about all of a sudden we kind of both look at each other, and we both have the same look on our face, and it's like, yeah, we need to go. He's like, yes, we do. And literally we got back to the room, and both of us were like, boom.
Boom.
Good night.
Yeah, correct.
Like, and the last time I went and I had a room on my own, it was funny. The last time I went, I had to flip rooms because I didn't want to stay at the really expensive place downtown. So I had a room out north. And it was funny. I got into the room and I was like, oh, I'll come back downtown. I'll hang out with people. I got to the room. I couldn't get off the couch. I really couldn't get off the couch. I mean, it's bad enough where it's like, even on Monday, I'm like, I gotta get up, I gotta get moving. I don't want to get up and get moving. I just want to sit here.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, it's not that bad of a drive, but you're like, oh my God, I gotta stay in this car for 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I better line up like the Red Bull or something just to get me through.
Right. And then if you even have to get to work the following day.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that no more. I stopped doing that back in the 30s when I was in my 30s, not in 1930s. I wasn't alive back then. But in my 30s, when I was driving to these shows, when the show was over, drive home Sunday afternoon, I knew I had to take Monday off. So.
Well, it's interesting. It's really, really interesting because, like, when I've gone out to Vegas for like the speaking stuff, and I, you're up all hours and all kinds of stuff like that. I take it back. I'm sorry, I take it back. No, I did once again on Saturday. On both Saturdays, I crashed in Vegas. After a long weekend, where it was just like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the room. Good night. I will say that if Eric had won, I think I could have powered through. But once he didn't win, I was just like, I am so drained. Why am I so tired? I don't even want to talk. And I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm cranky. It's just, I was just like, okay, I feel like a stick in the mud. I'm going back to my room. I don't want to go back to my room, but I need to. Good night.
Yeah. And you've not been sleeping well. You've not been eating the best foods. You might not have gotten a lot of water. So, yeah, by the end of the convention, you're usually wiped out. And hopefully you haven't caught any con crud. So.
Well, the Toastmasters convention this past year was interesting because I know so many people through Facebook and just in general people who were there. So I'm bouncing all over the place hanging out. I'm hanging out longer than most people.
Yeah.
And then to top it off, I'm working with somebody who's in the World Championship of Public Speaking. So it's, all right, I'm working on this. I'm busy doing this. I'm busy checking out this. And so it's not necessarily just I'm having a good time. It's, I'm actually doing some work.
Yeah, it's almost like, it's
like. So, yeah, by really in reality, it's like, okay, I'm running, at some points, there was a part of me where it's like, I really could do some, it's like I'm going to sleep later than I probably should. At the same time, I'm getting up earlier than I probably want to. And by Saturday night, I was just like, it's like, if Eric had won, I'd have been good. Eric didn't win, I was like, all of a sudden it was like, I need to get out of here. I'm going to say something I'm going to regret to a lot of people, and I need to stop. But, con crud is a real thing.
Yes,
for me. Although it's funny, because I didn't get con crud from over the weekend, but again, I think the key to conquer is what you said, which is, okay, did you take time off? Did you get a good amount of sleep? Did you take slots off? Did you hydrate? Did you do all the things you needed to do? Did you eat properly? Mm-hmm. You know, those are all keys. Yeah. You know, and that's the other reason I stopped judging at Gen Con, Mike, was I lost my voice one time when I was still in radio, and I couldn't do spots, and I couldn't do the sports show. And yeah,
you spent your whole weekend off talking, and you had to go to work, and you had to talk.
Yeah, my boss was pissed. My boss was like, "How do you do that to yourself?" And I'm like, "You got a really good point. You got a really good point. Can't do that again."
Now, as a public speaker, do you have like lemon water or something for your hot tea or something?
I have not had the need to do that lately.
Any remedies?
There are some things that I look at. I've been told that there's a tea called throat coat tea. I've not used it. I hear in some ways it doesn't taste real good, but my understanding is that it helps quite a bit. I do like taking a throat lozenge and dissolving it in water.
Okay.
Even if it's just ice water, and then drinking it, because it does coat the throat well. Honey is obviously a thing. Lemon is a thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is really in reality, the biggest key to that is hydration. And it was funny, I was talking to somebody about this, and it's like, okay, really in reality, for you to be hydrated enough for that day, you really have to be hydrating 24 hours before that. So really in reality, if you're speaking on Saturday, you should be hydrating on Friday. So there's that. I did want to mention one other thing. I know you said you didn't see the Golden Globes, but I don't know if you caught this. The Golden Globes have now officially decided to do, you know how the Golden Globes have for years done like the Cecil B. DeMille, a special
or Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, Lifetime Achievement. So they're now doing one for the first time for TV.
Okay.
And they're naming it after Carol Burnett, and obviously Carol Burnett's the first recipient.
Obviously.
And, and so she was the first recipient. But it got me to thinking, I'm like, why did they never do this earlier?
Yeah, the show airs on TV, for crying out loud.
Well, and think about this. I just wonder. I wonder if somebody asked them that question. I didn't look around for it, and I definitely think Carol Burnett is truly one of the greats of television.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, really? How many years has the Golden Globes been around, and this is the first time you've considered doing a TV award? I mean, it just seems, I don't know. It just seems crazy.
Newsflash. Awards show creates a new award to pass out to other celebrities.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, it should have been done a long time ago.
True.
The fact that really that other award was just really for movie stars, when there are plenty of perfectly good TV stars who deserve an award like that, for some of the things they've done.
Okay.
The other thing that's interesting is that I guess Jim Parsons is talking a little bit this week about why I guess he's the reason why Big Bang Theory is going to go off the air, and he's like, I just think it's time, and I'm looking, and I guess he made a comment about looking forward to do other stuff, and I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm kind of like sitting there going, people have known you as this character for 12 years. I'm just curious if he's really going to be able to go on to other projects. Now, the good news is he's got that other show about young Sheldon where he does the voiceover, kind of like...
So he's the narrator?
Yeah, he's a narrator, so it's kind of like a Wonder Years thing. And that show is hysterical. It really is good. And that show will be around for a while, so at least he'll have that. But of the people on that show, I don't know. I look at a guy like Jaleel White, who played Urkel, who I think he thought the sky would be the limit after that. How many of these TV actors who have been on some of these shows have been those types of characters, and everybody's like, oh, that guy will find work. And then really, in reality, not really.
Yeah, like Henry Winkler didn't have works for years.
All right. Or what's his name? Michael Richards, Cosmo Kramer.
Right. He went to stand-up.
Right, but again, everybody was like, "Oh, that guy's going to be a big star." Not really.
No.
Not really. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman. Everybody thought Gary Coleman was going to be the big star. Gary Coleman was a big star, but he never really got past, different strokes.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of those do we have up there? Of people where, you know what? You are what you are. And I don't know. I mean, the good news is The Big Bang Theory is on, like, all the time on, like, TBS and stuff, so.
It's there. Hope he got some of those residuals.
Well, he's getting them, so. Oh. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, because I know the one guy who plays Leonard, obviously he was on Roseanne, and with the Connors being back, he can be back on that show in no time flat if he wants to. And what's her name? Kaylee, she's already doing that Harley cartoon for DC.
Yep.
And she's done other work before, so she'll be fine. I am curious about some of the other ones.
Yeah, the other two cast members. I saw the commercial for the one guy who was Dopinder in the Deadpool movies. He was like doing a Diet Coke commercial or something.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at some of
in this pop culture that we have, typecasts still exist.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I was going to say that 70s show, but a lot of those guys went on to become like producers and stuff. Like Ashton Kutcher went on to produce stuff. The guy who played Hyde went on to produce things. But like, you don't see Topher Grace becoming some badass actor. I mean, it's not like he hasn't done anything, but you get my point.
Yeah.
I just kind of look at it and I'm like, okay, if you say so. Yeah. So, well, I think it's that time. I mean,
yeah, we're approaching the 2-hour mark, so why don't we head into our usual closing segment?
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Right.
Let me see how far back I gotta go with some of these.
We don't have Ivan's background music.
No, we don't have Ivan's background music.
We have to keep really low so you don't get...
Yeah. I'm looking real fast to see where we can start, if we have anything.
Yeah, we got 3 weeks. Wow.
Well, it's funny, there wasn't that much.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much the last few weeks. So it's like, I'm kind of like, for example, it's funny, we didn't even talk about this. There was a Men in Black trailer, there was a Hellboy trailer.
Meh. Oh, yeah. That Men in Black International?
Yeah.
That looks garbage.
Yeah, and then I guess Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd are going to do Zombies 2. So, Zombieland 2. So, but yeah, okay, let's see. Here we go. A lack of hot sauce. Prom says shooting at Taco Bell.
Yes.
Apparently.
Congratulations. Where was this?
This was in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Police are searching for a man who reportedly fired. Now, this is a while back. Some of these are older. Apparently, there was a man who they were searching for who'd fired several shots to the Taco Bell drive-thru because he didn't get the taco sauce he ordered.
Okay. I usually just get mild sauce sometimes on the tacos when I'm in the mood to get tacos. But yeah. Taco Bell is usually not. I usually don't get tacos from Taco Bell. But yeah, I'm certainly not worth shooting anyone over.
Yeah, not something. That's not something you really want to shoot people over.
No.
It's just me. I don't. Let's see. A would-be kidnapper chased a woman into a karate studio.
Worst decision ever was to follow her in.
Yeah. Charlotte, North Carolina, a man tries to kidnap a woman by forcing her into his car. In North Charlotte, she breaks free and runs into a nearby karate studio pleading for help. I don't even think we have to go much further into the story.
No.
I gotta ask, what is this guy thinking? I mean, obviously, there's just nothing smart about this. Unless the guy is like 6'4" and built like The Rock.
Right.
This is a really bad idea.
So, yeah, obviously the owner of the establishment was there when she pleaded for help, and the dude became combative, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah. It's exactly how you would think it. Yeah. I just laugh because I'm
something out of a sitcom.
Right. You're like, really? Seriously? Come on. I mean, that's the part I don't get, Mike. It's like, okay, I'm going to kidnap this person. She escaped and she ran into a karate dojo.
What do you do?
What do you do? Yeah, this is a role-playing thing where I would talk to my guys and I'd be like, what would you do? It's like, okay, not role-playing. In reality, what would you do? Oh, I wouldn't go in there. Yeah, at least I know if one of my friends would sit there and go, do I have a weapon? I'd be like, seriously? I mean, it seems like a role-playing scenario where it's like if you've got a Dungeons and Dragons thing. She runs into the dojo. What do you do? Okay, I load up for bear and we all go in there and attack. Okay, in reality, bad idea. Really bad idea. Like, what were you thinking?
So the guy left the dojo in a stretcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I read the article.
Yeah.
Dumbass!
It's just, that's the part I don't understand, is it's like, and here's the thing. It was really only one guy. Dojo. You know how many people could be in a dojo who have
at least some semblance of training.
Yeah. Yeah, you really want to go in there? What are you thinking?
Yeah. That reminds me, I'm looking forward to season 2 of Cobra Kai this year.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Comcast voice remote rejects Dick Van Dyke for I cannot handle that type of language.
Alexa. No, you said the Comcast remote. Okay.
Yeah, so apparently the Xfinity One voice remote. I'll have to try this. I bet it works now. But when I've asked to play the Dick Van Dyke Show, apparently cannot handle the commands for that kind of language. Apparently it's been fixed though. But apparently at one point, that reminds me of one time when I was fighting with somebody about Northwestern, and I was talking about Dyke Stadium, and they wouldn't. The moderator kept knocking out the word Dyke because for obvious reasons. Like,
what? Just talking about Dyke Stadium.
It's the name of the stadium. What do you want me to do?
It's the name of the stadium. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's like, what do you want me to do? This one we had before, but I didn't get to it and I forgot. This one I forgot from the last show, but I saw that it was back and I wanted to talk about this one, which is drone over middle-aged festival taken down by spear. Apparently, a man at a Russian middle-aged festival took down a drone with a freaking spear. There's apparently video of this.
This is what it says was a Renaissance festival?
Yeah, apparently some sort of Renaissance festival. They took it down with a spear. Here's the real question. Why would you have that there?
What is this wizardry?
Yeah, exactly. A bunch of drunk people at the Renaissance fair. Someone's going to have a weapon and go, you know what? What if I could hit it? Yeah. This is right up there with going to a con. This is the reason why you don't allow weapons at cons at major game cons and community anymore. Is because people get drunk or think stupid things, and the next thing you know, dumbass shit like this happens.
Yep, it's true. That when you're in a crowd of people, the common sense tends to go to the wind.
Yeah.
Much like the drone.
It doesn't really talk about why this person was doing the drone. The only thing I can come up with is maybe somebody wanted to take pictures to use for promotional purposes, or maybe they wanted to show something, but I guess there's video of it. I have not watched it. It's got to be hilarious. I'll have to watch this later, but seriously, somebody might have wanted to say to this person, you might lose your drone.
Yeah. Where's my pizza drone? Where's my Pizza Hut drone?
Yeah, really.
I'm supposed to tap on my phone and open the app and send the pizza drone to my doorstep.
Is there really? I didn't even know that.
That's coming, hopefully soon.
Oh, okay. Let's
Where's
see.
my pizza roll?
Teacher who fed puppy to a turtle in front of students found not guilty of animal cruelty.
Jesus.
He said he was doing the right thing by putting the sick puppy out of its misery.
Ugh.
Ugh. Okay.
No. That's right up there with running into a karate dojo trying to kidnap someone.
And he's a teacher at a junior. This was at a junior high.
And kids were present. Man, this dude's sick.
Dude.
Not cool.
Well, yeah, Salt Lake. Enough said. You shouldn't say that. That's probably wrong of me to say.
He's sick.
No, I guess he's Idaho. Is he Idaho? Yeah, people are... Yeah. I don't even... What was his rationale?
The puppy was...
Well, the puppy was sick and refused to eat.
Take it to a vet and put it down harmlessly.
Yeah.
The turtle drowned the little thing, man. That sucks. Death by drowning is like one of the worst ways to die.
Wait, hold on. This is even crazier. Initially, he tried to feed it to a python.
And the python wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, and then, okay, this is...
That's awful. It's freaking awful.
Dude, what?
Jerk.
What are you doing? What do people do? Wait, seriously. Okay, so here's good news. In case you really wanted this, we can now go to Costco and get a 7-pound tub of Nutella.
Never tried this stuff.
Oh, it's good. I don't know that I need 7 pounds of good, but it's good.
It's like a tub of spackle.
Retails for $21.99 plus shipping. Why do I have to ship it? Why can't I just pick it up? Can't I just go to Costco and get it?
Helps have a teenager help load it into your car.
Yeah, well, there's a workout.
Here's your Nutella, sir.
Seriously, there's a workout. Okay, I'm gonna walk around with these Nutella jars, and then I can eat it. That's worth it. Let's see. There was salmon that was caught near Seattle, overloaded with hold on, waiting for this thing to come up. Technology is failing me today. Salmon caught in Seattle are full of cocaine, antidepressants, and other drugs.
What, someone hid it in the fish, or the fish was just hopped up on it?
Let's see. It's no surprise to find that fish with drug incentives, however, the type of drugs that were found in the wild salmon caught near Seattle may have been enough to surprise you. According to a paper published by the International Journal of Environmental Pollution, salmon caught in the United States near Seattle contained traces of 81 different types of drugs, including illegal narcotic stimulants and other classes of drugs.
People just dumping it into the water?
Yeah, as a result of personal waste being thrown into water.
Yeah.
Apparently this is not the first time this has happened. In 2004, there were, in Scotland, that had high levels of cancer-causing chemicals.
Yeah.
So apparently, I mean, here's the real thing. There's some method to this madness. I mean, if you really think about this, which is, okay, you just pump all the drugs into the salmon, and then you don't have to take the pills. You can just eat the salmon.
Yeah. Yeah, this salmon has the antidepressants in it. I'll just have this one.
Think about the salmon with the cocaine in it. Dude, I see. The fish is talking to me.
Just did a line of salmon, man.
Yeah.
I'm hopped up right now.
The fish is talking to me. Why is it talking to me? It's supposed to be dead. It's like The Walking Dead with fish. Or something like that. I don't know.
Don't feed it to a turtle, man. It's still alive.
Yeah, don't do that. Mom, here, this is cute. Mom refuses to pay babysitter, tries paying an ice cream and fun instead.
How do you quantify fun?
Yeah, that's what
you don't.
Babysitter watched the kids for 8 hours. She asked the mother to collect her pay. Her mother replied she wasn't where payment was involved, and the babysitter got a free day of ice cream and a day of fun. The sitter sent the mother the screen grab of the agreed rate, which was $16 an hour or $128 for the day, which seems okay, legitimate for a day.
$16 an hour, wow.
Yeah, that does seem a little high, doesn't it?
Yeah. How many kids?
2. No, wait a minute, that's not so bad. If you're talking about 2 kids all day, yeah.
Multiple kids, yeah.
The mother then called the sitter stuck up, saying her kids are easy, and offered the sitter $20. Babysitter said she loves the kids. She's doing this, but she's doing this for pay exclusively. The conversation ended with the mother blocking the babysitter and the sitter threatening small claims court before the father stepped in and paid the babysitter.
Yeah. You taking the babysitter to court? Really? You're the one who's going to do that?
No, I guess the babysitter was taking her to court. But
Jesus.
But yeah, ice cream and fun. What are we defining fun? What's fun for a teenage girl to hang out with two kids? I don't think I understand this one. Okay, so there was a woman that met a man through a dating site, and she really liked him. You know how much she liked him? Okay. She liked him so much that she sent him 159,000 texts.
Oof. I think I'd have blocked her after the first 5,000.
A woman accused of stalking a man she met on dating site has more than 65,000 text messages. Apparently sent more than twice that many.
How long were they on a date? How long were they dating?
Some of them were threatening over the course of 10 months.
Jeez.
The breakdown is 530 texts a day, given an average 30-day month. Get this. They only went on one date.
They went on one date?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's been a hell of a date.
The man, whose name has not been released, found the woman parked outside of his home. Officers escorted her off his property, and that's when she began threatening the man. One text friend, I'd make sushi out of your kidneys and chopsticks out of your hand bones.
What the hell?
She was arrested in April 2018, for trespassing inside his home while he was out of the country.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No.
Crazy shit.
Yeah. Maybe she should have, maybe we, I got a guy she should meet. I think
Does he work at
he likes to kill puppies with turtles and pythons. I think they would be a good match.
You send them both to the karate dojo.
No, really. Yeah, send them to the karate dojo. That sounds like a good plan. We're almost done with this. A porn shoot at a mini golf course had barely ended before the venue opened to the public.
Oh, okay. Was this an indoor course?
I'm looking to see.
All right.
I'm looking to see. Porn stars swinging at action with some over-the-top crazy sex at a crazy mini golf course hours before it opened to the public. Customers were shocked to find the hardcore scenes had been filmed at the indoor attraction, so I guess it was indoor.
Yeah.
This, of course, takes place.
Wow.
Okay. How did anyone not see this coming? Okay.
Literally.
Oh God, wow, that was really bad. The name of the course apparently is Ghetto Golf.
Okay, that says enough.
And it charges $20 for an alcoholic drink and a round of adult-themed golf courses. So why is such a shock?
Well, hey man, you can only sell so many mini golf games. Got to find some extra money on the side. You know what? We're closed at night. You can film your little movie at night. But it's got to be done by this time.
Yeah.
But sometimes the blue pill doesn't work and you got to finish the scene soon and it's not happening. And I can see how sometimes it's usually on the mail end. The schedule doesn't always get there.
Somebody makes the point, quote, it can't be hygienic.
See, this is where we need Ivan's laugh track.
Yeah. Ivan would be dying at that.
I miss you, Ivan. Get back here, Ivan.
Someone made an entire suit of armor made of magic cards.
Okay. Why not?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Let's see why we did that.
Yeah, how many cards total?
We're getting there. Suit of armor out of magic cards. Why? Oh my God, really?
You spend $1,000 on them or what?
The funny part is it doesn't tell you why.
Why? Why not?
Why apparently?
Because he bought all these
He made a sword and a shield. Why?
Why? Why not? Because the guy bought a bunch of cards and there was only one rare in all the packs.
Yeah, probably.
And he had
probably.
And he had a lot of time on his hands afterward because no one wanted to play Magic after him. So.
Yeah, really. I think that's got to be the answer.
Yeah, I don't play Magic.
And finally, Border Patrol agents found 4 kittens hidden in a bulge in a man's pants.
Whoa. Hey.
People attempted to smuggle all kinds of contraband in airports over the years.
Oh.
One Singapore man attempted to his precious but illicit loot through security in a pretty unorthodox way. Apparently, they caught the man traveling from Malaysia with a
With a what?
With a with cargo in his pants, 4 live kittens.
You must be all like, well, this won't show up on the metal detector.
They heard meowing sounds coming from the bulge in the man's pants.
What was that? Oh, nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. Anyone caught with animals without proper paperwork could face a maximum of a $10,000 fine, imprisonment for a year, or both.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They're just kittens. You need to calm down, buddy.
It's unclear what the penalty will the smuggler will have to pay for the cargo kittens.
Aww.
Why would you?
Yeah.
I want to know. Some things like I said, this was not some of the better ones. This is not a good week for the wacky.
And no sex robot news for you, Jeff. I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah, well,
they did have that big trade show in the tech show in Las Vegas, I think.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. It was funny. Who was I talking to about that? Where they're like, how many more times are you going to talk about sex robots? And I'm like, well...
How many episodes are we on?
Here's the thing. It's good podcasting.
That's right.
And so sometimes I'm kind of laughing about it, but yeah, I do even want to.
Well, yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
Get us out of here, Mike. Tell people how they can find us.
You can find us on Facebook. That's where Jeff and I are most active, on the Squares of the Round Table Facebook page. You can send us a message through there, of course, if you like. And, of course, links to some of the articles we talked about here on the show. We are also on PodBean. That's where we do the listening. That'd be good, too.
Mm-hmm.
We're on YouTube as well. And for listening, that's also good. Mm-hmm. If you want to listen there, that'd be great. You click the bell, subscribe. We appreciate it. If you want to contact us through the email, we'd like that as well. The address is sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, we need a lot in the bag and a lot of the Harper to talk about.
Yeah.
So
I thought we got pretty much caught up from holidays. So
we'll
start fresh again next week with hopefully our good buddy Ivan with us.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll add to. We'll have a whole bunch of stuff from Ivan too.
Yeah.
So it'll be crazy. I did forget something real fast. You get a kick out of this. I don't know if you want to try this or not. Apparently, if you're in the Chicago area and you're hearing this weekend, Goose Island is putting up a field goal post, and apparently, if you can kick a 43-yard field goal, they're giving you a year's supply of their beer.
Okay. I had Goose Island. I don't know. One of their ales I had was kind of bitter, but
Goose Island, good beer. So. But if you think you can kick a 43-yard field goal, yeah.
There you go. Well, you armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. I forgot.
You get kick out of that. I see.
Oh, wow, I'm doing all kinds of bad puns today.
Unintentional, too. Good job, my friend.
Yes.
So with that, we are done. So we appreciate you listening.
Yep.
And we'll catch you next time on this here podcast.
Great. For Mike Boyle, I'm Jeff Stein. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week.